You know when you're about to see your favorite person and catch up? That's how I feel every time I get on the mic and talk to you. Welcome to the Save the Good Girl podcast, everybody. I am your host, Erica E. And for those who do not know me, welcome to your first luxury listening experience. And what that means is you are going to get quality content. And I'm so excited that you are here and we get a chance to know one another. Now, here's the thing. I cannot leave you in general admission. I need you to be in VIP. If I'm going to give you a luxurious experience, it has to be full out. So go to SaveTheGoodGirl.com, enter your email address, and you are going to get beautiful newsletters specifically made by me for you. And in addition to this audio, I do provide really fun visuals as well. So follow Save the Good Girl on social media: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, Threads. We are there. And I'm excited to see you. I want to see you too. So let's communicate on there. Let's connect on there. Let's have fun. Share your thoughts, share your feedback, all of that on social media and on SaveTheGoodGirl.com. Currently, right now, you are listening to SOE. And SOE stands for Shot of Erica. And what that means is just like your shot of green juice, espresso, or tequila, whatever you like, it gets you where you need to be in a short period of time. I do the same thing, but for your mind, okay? I'm not providing no tequila. Well, not yet. Maybe soon. Maybe when I do the Save the Good Girl events, I'll provide some tequila. But for today, we are doing it for the mind. And this episode is no more than 20 minutes. So it's perfect for your quick breaks. You're just relaxing. You need a quick pick-me-up. This is exactly what this is for. Which is cool, right? I like that. I like that for us. I like that for you. And I like that for me too. Would you believe me if I told you that I recorded this intro at least 20 times? And you know why I did that? Because you deserve quality. So if I don't like the way it sounds, I will re-record this over and over and over again before I get to the final approval that I think sounds great. So you deserve that. Just want to point that out. So y'all, I called this episode Reviving Your Monstera Deliciosa, which is a plant. I am not talking about a physical plant per se, but I did want to share with you guys a story that I was really inspired by. And I'm like, wow, this is very, inspirational. There's a nice theme behind this, and I really want to share this on my show. So I recently went to Chicago and I had a great time. I had a chance to see my friend and just see her in her element. Like, what I'm learning is that going to get drinks with people and having dinner and doing activities outside is very easy. Inside the home is different because inside the home is vulnerability. You're like engaging with someone. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's not. That's really a real difficult thing if you don't have a great relationship with that person. Because getting a drink and going home is easy, I find, So I wanted to see my friend. I haven't seen her in some time. She has 3 kids. I have not seen the babies, and I've really wanted to spend quality time with her. So I went to Chicago, had an amazing time, y'all. I loved being around her. I loved seeing her in her element. It's so different when you hear about what people do, you see, you talk to them on the phone, but then when you actually get a chance to be in the room, it's a very different experience. Like watching my friends grow into adulthood, it's very, very beautiful to me. To watch my friends who are mothers or recently in love or going through a home owning process or going back to school or losing weight, just watching people in their element is very beautiful. It's like a front row seat to the best show ever, So I'm watching my friend be a wonderful mother. We're having such a great time. And it was a Saturday. It was a Saturday morning and we're just talking. And I've been in a space where I'm just very hyper aware and super present, like really 2020 vision when it comes to being intentional, 2020 when it comes to being present, listening to everything. I find depth in everything. I find, the deepness in everything that I'm seeing, who I'm speaking to. It's just very like deep, right? And I don't mean for it to be like that. I really don't. Like, I'm just sitting there listening to her. I'm like, wow, I'm inspired. Putting this on the show. you know, whenever I'm inspired, y'all, I am putting this on the show because I want you guys to get this as well. And we're having this conversation in her living room. And while I'm talking to her, I just want to share this as well. While I'm talking to her, she said, oh my God, look, a red robin. I always knew the red robin had a meaning of someone who passed away, but I didn't really know what it was. So I looked it up, and it does symbolize that. And it talked about that a loved one who passed away, letting you know that they're near and that something new is happening, a rebirth. Everything in the old phase will be gone, and there's a promise of something new. And what was very deep for me in that moment is that she lost her father, and I also experienced loss with my father. So to see the red robin for the both of us was like, wow, like they are both watching over us. So that was a really nice moment. Very nice moment. So we're talking about that. We're in the living room and we are chilling. We are in our element. We are in our comfortable clothes, enjoying the sun. It was a very beautiful sunny day, just having a nice conversation and just being. And she was like, you know what? I should get up and water my plants. My friend's living room is like an artist's dream. It's so beautiful. It's full of color and it's literally full of life. There's so many plants in her living room and it's just beautiful. I'm like, yo, I love your living room. It's so cozy. I feel like I could just share the world with you here. Like whatever thoughts I have in my mind, I can let it out here. Super comfortable. She did a phenomenal job with her living room. So we're talking about her watering her plants. So she was like, this particular plant, which is the Monstera, she was like, I actually was going to throw it away. And she looked at it in awe, like, wow, look at the plant. It's growing so beautifully. I'm so happy. So I'm like, what happened? What do you mean you were going to throw it away? And she was like, well, what happened was I got the plant and I left it out. There was a really, really bad storm and the plant, it completely damaged the plant and the plant lost its form and I was going to throw it away. I was like, really? She said, yeah, I was going to throw it away because it just completely was messed up and I didn't like the way it looked. So I'm like, I'm just going to throw it away and buy another one. But she said something told her to not throw it away. And she's like, I really want to nurse it back and take care of it and see what happens. So she took care of the plant. She took care of the plant, watered the plant, was there for the plant. And you should see how beautiful this plant is. This is actually the same plant you see on the photo of the podcast cover. That is the live Monstera Deliciosa plant. And as she's telling me this story, I am inspired because the plant is vibrant. It's back in its original form. It's healthy. It's shiny. And it does not look like what it's been through. It does not look like it's struggled. If she never told me that the plant was like done, I would have never known. All it needed was some care and attention, right? So she's sharing this story with me and instantly I'm like, wow. I was inspired because I thought to myself, how many times have you discarded yourself based on the things that has happened in your life, based on circumstances, based on heartache, based on rejection, based on confusion, based on thinking that life will be one way and it's not? How many times have you emotionally given up, physically given up, and not take care of yourself? And it resonated with me because I've done that many times. And maybe you have done that too. And not intentionally, but because of the pain, because of the confusion, because of whatever it is, we're not giving ourselves the water, the light, and the attention that we need. And truthfully, we're just like plants. If you don't take care of yourself, if you don't take care of your mind, if you don't take care of your soul, if you don't take care of yourself physically, you will lose your color. You will lose your vibrancy. You will lose your energetic, being. You'll lose that spark. So as I'm listening to her share the story, I thought about that and the many times that I have disregarded myself. I did not take care of myself. I just kind of like succumb to the problem. I'm like, well, that's how it is. I guess this is just what it is. And even till this day, I'm still fighting to believe that no, Erica, it's not the way it is. No. Sometimes, that saying it is what it is. Sometimes it is what it isn't either. Either, right? Am I saying this right? It is what it isn't. Yeah. I think I know what I'm saying. I'm trying to articulate it. So I feel like when people say it is what it is, to a certain extent, it's true, right? The sun is yellow. It is what it is. But when it comes to us, I don't feel like it's that definitive. Like, it's just that, oh, yeah, well, it is what it is with life. Because it's not. You get an opportunity to make decisions and changes every single day. You get an opportunity to align yourself in the right spaces if you choose to do so. There is some work that comes into that. You have to participate in that and, really give yourself the credit that you deserve. So as I'm listening about the Monstera, and I like the name, Monstera Deliciosa. I like the name. But as I'm listening to my friend tell me the story, we're in her living room, full of life, full of light. I'm like, this is really symbolic. This is really symbolic because what that plant needed was sunlight, water, and fertilization on a consistent basis. That's it. When you think about the maintenance we really need as human beings, I think sometimes we make it more complicated than it needs to be, right? As a human, we need to be loved, we need to be validated, we need to be seen, and we need to be heard. That's what we need. And then when situations occur that makes us feel less than, that the insecurities pop in, we tend to not take care of ourselves fully. Lately, I've been on this kind of thought process where I'm like, I gotta take care of myself fully, right? So before I recorded this episode, I need to get myself in a good space to record. So what did I have to do? I woke up, I made my bed fully. And what I mean by that is I added all my pillows. I brushed my teeth, I flossed, I took my shower, I used my body scrub, I used my body butter, I made some breakfast, I drank my water, I made some coffee, I lit my candle, I organized my room. I did all of that to create a setting just for me to record in an energetic space that's healthy, right? Which is good. But I'm also thinking about every area of my life, that I'm not giving every area of my life the right attention that it deserves. Am I giving every area the right light? No, because there's certain areas that I'm just kind of like abandoning, right? And I can be honest about that. Am I giving every area the right fertilization? A little bit, not every area, Am I giving every area the right amount of water? Because you can't have like water that's too much. You also can't have too little. So the right amount, no. And because I know that, how can I expect my Monstera Deliciosa to be as vibrant, to grow? And the fact that literally, y'all, if she did not tell me, I would not have known. You do not have to look like your struggle. You don't. I will say I don't look like my struggle. I will have the worst moment and still get myself up and go, because I have to mentally train myself to keep going. I have to mentally train myself to go outside, mentally prepare myself to record, mentally prepare myself to do my content. It's not easy for me, but my creative side is something that I have not watered in a very long time. And for me to keep this fruitful and going, I have to feed it. I have to fertilize it. I have to pay attention to what sparks it. And I think about how I'm doing that creatively and it's working. So what if I took that same concept and applied it to every area of my life, whether it's physically, whether it's romance, whether it's professionally, whatever it is, right? When you think about discarding yourself, have you ever felt like you discarded yourself with your dreams, with your goals, with your aspirations, with ideas? Have you ever felt like that before? We have a tendency to emotionally throw ourselves away. Like one thing happens, or you break up with somebody, or you got terminated from your job, or whatever it is, right? And it's like, well, I guess I'm not good enough, or I'm not this enough, or I'm not that enough. And it's like, no, maybe that opportunity just was not for you. So instead of forgetting to water yourself and fertilize yourself and give yourself the right amount of sunlight, let's try to get back into a consistent groove. Let's try to get back into a consistent groove. I was just so motivated, y'all, to physically be there with her, to listen to the story, which I'll be honest with you, she didn't tell me the story with any deepness to it. She was just saying, "Oh my God, girl, you know I'm gonna throw this plan away," because it was just like we left it out in the storm and it was just not looking good. And I'm like, oh, I'm about to throw this one away and just buy another one. And I was like, no, I don't want to give up on it. And I'm just going to take care of it. It was very easy. It wasn't like a deep conversation like, oh my gosh, Erica, let me sit with you and tell you the story of the Monstera Deliciosa. That's not what happened. I listened to her and I interpreted that way. I was like, wow, this is really deep. Because I feel like I have discarded myself many times. And it's not that I don't think it's in a place where you have to discard yourself. I think it's more so like, okay, so like, what can we do? Because clearly there's a problem. Clearly my branches are turning brown. Okay. My leaves are falling. The roots are just not healthy at all. There's something that's not right. But it doesn't mean that everything about you has to go. And I'm not talking about unaliving yourself. I'm not talking about suicide. I'm talking about when you just give up. You just give up. You succumb to the pain. You're like, well, it is what it is. I'm just going to be like this. And it's like, it does not have to be that way. It does not have to be that way. How do you revive your Monstera? How do you really revive your internal plant? How do you revive your mind? How do you revive you? Are you going to let your job or what somebody says or this experience really put you in a space where you're like, I'm not going to take care of myself? And nobody ever says that. Nobody ever says, I'm not going to take care of myself. It's our actions, right? It's our actions. We literally just don't want to do it. We just don't want to do it. So I really want you guys to leave with this, right? When you think about a plant, really, we are just like them. They are life just like us. And there is a level of consideration that is required to successfully take care of a plant. It does not have any difference when it comes to us. We have to fertilize our ideas. We have to fertilize our future. We have to be prepared for that. Because with the right amount of attention, with the right amount of sunlight, with the right amount of care, with the right amount of process and consistency and paying attention to what's working and what's not. Because with plants, you can't water the plants all the same. Every plant requires a certain amount of water. With the right amount of care, anything can grow. Anything can grow. So I encourage you and me to not discard ourselves, not throw our dreams and our aspirations away. Instead, give yourself enough time to grow. And as a human being, as long as you're breathing, I don't care how old you are, as long as you are breathing and there is breath within you, there is purpose. So give yourself that opportunity. Revive your Monstera Deliciosa. I love it. Revive your Monstera Deliciosa. Give yourself that opportunity. You deserve it. You deserve it. And just know that, as always, y'all, I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear your thoughts. How do you feel about reviving yourself again? Getting that vibrancy back, getting that color back, getting your spark back. What do you think you need to do? What areas require that? I want you to really think about that, write that down, and spend a little bit of time focusing on how you are going to get yourself back and be in that light and be lit and be amazing and be colorful. because we need that vibrancy. We need you to be fully here and watered well. I love to hear your feedback, y'all. Please send me a note on savethegoodgirl.com or on social media. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Revive your Monstera. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Take your time, and we will talk next week. Bye.